I'm Hewat-Jaboor, and I have the great pleasure to be chairman of Masterpiece Fair. It's a particular delight for me this afternoon to be ensconced in the picture room at the Sir John Soane Museum in Lincoln's Inn Fields in London. The Soane Museum is one of our treasured museum partners at Masterpiece, and I would like to introduce Feng Tang, who is going to be in conversation with me this afternoon, and we will have a little look around the museum as well.
Thank you, Philip. Thank you so much for the introduction. It is my first time being here in this wonderful museum, and it is my first time and also pleasure to meet you in person. I can sense the great depth and great range of the beautiful things here. I do wish you have another successful masterpiece. Can you tell me a little bit more about your collection story?
I will be delighted to. I was very fortunate that I spent a great deal of time both with my grandfather and my uncle as a child. And my grandfather was a serious collector, really mainly in the 1950s and 60s. And he collected British sporting pictures and put together a really remarkable collection. But what he was actually known for was actually for collecting Chinese ceramics. And I learned a tremendous amount from him. He taught me how to look, how to hold, how to handle an object. I'm really interested to hear more about your collection.
I started 20 years ago. I like ancient jade, I like ancient ceramic, I like scholar ware. What I unconsciously do is using the jade mainly for two purposes. One is wearing every day, like necklace, rings, all that. Second is for spiritual interaction. Then for ceramic, I use for tea, for wine, for dining. Then moving to study room, to library, what I use is, as I said before, the ink stand, the brush pot, and even some decor, some statues in the ancient time. Then you feel that you are studying together with the ancient scholars together. So that's how I sort of unintentionally, unconsciously using Sir your theory about cross collection. Being a chairman of Masterpiece, you know a lot of people gathering around the keyword collection, say collectors, sellers, dealers. Could you tell us a little bit more about why people do collection?
That's such an interesting and complex question, I think. Why do people collect? I think we all want to be surrounded by beautiful things. I formerly used to work as an art advisor, and I had a small number of Americans who wanted to furnish their houses with good things and have the knowledge that they were buying the right things and the real things and so on and so forth. And so these were a group of people, which is most people, to be honest, I think, who start off by buying things to furnish their houses. But with all of them, with one exception, I found that through this process that they've always somehow found an area within the things that we've been buying that they become passionate about and excited about and learn more and more about and actually then start to collect. And I think it's such a huge world. How do you start? It's so many people don't have the exposure that we've been lucky enough to have to works of art. And so by taking them around museums and to the galleries and coming to Masterpiece, of course, which is the perfect place for a new collector to start on their collecting career, being a fair really devoted to cross-collecting, and you come across works of art from all corners of the globe and from all periods in all materials, but arranged in a way so that you have this wonderful serendipitous opportunity to come across things.